Hello, and in this edition of Blindman Speaks, I want to talk about DICE's work on nighttime maps. So what you're seeing in the background is the original Battlefield 4 nighttime map, which is the Halloween version of Pearl Market. On the CTE servers, they turned the sun off on Pearl Market, put in a few spooky Halloween effects, and let us play on it. And it's a very atmospheric map. And it forces you to change your playstyle. You're not sure whether to run around without looking down the scope, so you haven't got as good a view but you've got a wider view, or whether you should be looking down an IRNV scope, having a narrower view but seeing better. It is very different style of play, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought this was a really good, simple change. Now on the CTE servers we have Infiltration of Shanghai, which is Siege of Shanghai reworked to be a nighttime map. Now DICE haven't simply done like they did on Pearl Market, which is turn the sun off. They are completely remaking the map to work at night. So every light source has been redone. Normally a light on a map is three different elements. You've got the model of the light, you'll have the glow of the actual light bulb itself, and then you'll have the lighting effect on the ground. What they've had to do in this nighttime version is remodel all the lighting effects so that the lamps can be destructible. If you shoot at one of these street lamps now, you can knock out the bulb and the lighting effect will disappear. If you try that on a normal map, well, the lamps are indestructible. They've also added a mini levolution effect. They've added some circuit breakers which let you turn off all the big lights in an area. So that building in front of me, you'll be able to see that there's a big black block. Now that's one of the LED panels on the side of a building that's been turned off. As you can see, the model for those turned off panels isn't there yet, but they do actually turn on and off, and the lighting effect from them disappears as well. So a lot of work is being done on these maps, and as you can see, it's quite atmospheric, the lighting effects are really good, and it's a nice level of darkness. However, this isn't the level of darkness that you would normally see. I've got the brightness turned up to 100%. So if I turn the brightness back down to 50%, you'll see how this map actually looks. So you may be thinking, why did you have the brightness turned up to 100%? Well, this is why. The map is very, very dark. It's so dark that normal scopes are pointless. So the only scopes that really work are the 1x and 2x IRNV scopes, and that means you're close range. But Infiltration of Shanghai isn't a close range map. There's a lot of medium and long range shooting goes on in the normal version of Siege of Shanghai. So all people are doing is turning the brightness up. With the brightness turned up to 100%, you can actually use 4x scopes, you can use sniper scopes, and you can use weapons like the SMOR which don't have any scope at all. If you're using a SMOR and the map is this dark, a lot of times you can't even see the tank you're aiming at. And the reason for that is that DICE don't want 3D spotting on the nighttime maps. So this is classic mode. There's no spotting, there's no Doritos over people's heads, there's no spotted tanks. So you're literally aiming at a black shape in the blackness. I'd say about 50% of the people in this map have got the brightness turned up while they're playing. It's pretty obvious because you can see them using normal scopes and taking mid-range shots. The other half of the people are doing what I'm doing, which is using an IRNV scope. But having tried the map with the brightness turned up, I have to say it's a lot better than it is with the brightness at 50%. If a map is just close range, then yes, you can turn the lights off completely. But if a map is mid-range and long range, then it needs to be more of a dusk map than a nighttime map. A question I was asked on the previous Infiltration of Shanghai video is what gadgets would you like to see on the nighttime maps? Night vision I don't think should be in. So by night vision I mean goggles. A permanent way of putting night vision onto a character I don't think should be actually in Battlefield. What I would like to see is a version of the PLD. The PLD does work as night vision binoculars at the moment. They're just a bit blurry and they don't really go out to long ranges. What I would give is a version of the PLD that actually has proper night vision but doesn't have the ability to target vehicles. That would give players 3 levels of vision. you'd be running around in the dark with no night vision at all, or you could be looking down your INV scope and getting close range night vision, or you could stop and look down the PLD and get long range clear night vision. I also think one of the basic rocket launchers like the S'more needs some basic night vision on it. At the moment, the Javelin is your best option in the dark because you can just sweep it around until it gets a lock. You don't need to be able to see what you're aiming at. The Lure is also pretty good because you can just shoot at dark tank shapes and it will do its drop down thing. So overall, I think Dicey's doing some good work on these nighttime maps. Now, the other map that we might be getting is Golmud Railway. For me, close range maps like Pearl Market are going to make the ideal nighttime maps. I think Infiltration of Shanghai could work if it was more of a dusk map. So let the lighting levels come up a bit and then I think it would work fine. Golmud Railway, I don't really know. I think that would take a lot of work on the gadget side. Now, a way you could get Golmud Railway to work at night is do it in rush mode. That, I think, is the interesting area of night maps we've not looked at. What mode should they be in? I think Siege of Shanghai would work a lot better if it wasn't Conquest Large. Both Rush and Domination would work better on this map at night because you're getting people into those close range fights. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the nighttime maps. Now, the gameplay isn't all that interesting in this video. I was trying to show you all the different areas of the map. I'm still suffering with my shoulder, so I wasn't really able to play for that long, and I was dosed up on painkillers while I was doing it. But I hope you found it interesting, and leave your comments down below as to what you think of nighttime maps in Battlefield 4. For the next Blindman Speaks, I want to take a look at 3D spotting, so let me know what your opinions are of the spotting system in Battlefield 4. Thanks for watching.